Welcome to the last chance qualifiers. If your driver did not make it in to the race, through the qualifying races, this is their only chance. This field of 68 remaining drivers has been split into 34 car groups. Actually, there were 69 drivers, but Allie Ferguson got cut because of her antics at in the qualifying race and in her qualifying session. If your driver did not make it in, they have to win this race. You have to win this race, or his or her qualifying race, to make it into the full race. It's going to be a hard race for a lot of these drivers to get, but I think it will be beneficial for them. Remember, in each session, one driver will make it. And you want to be that one driver to win this race, to get yourself into the crucible of motorsports, the 9th running of the American 700. A lot of good drivers are down there, and a lot of drivers that we didn't expect to see made it, like McGee made it, Rocco Twyman made it, a couple of other drivers, and a lot of good drivers didn't. Tomas Saarinen, who dominated the first part of his race, didn't make it. All three of the Cathnex cars didn't make it. And all three of the Red Bulls didn't make it. So, the field was determined alphabetically, actually, and they split it at the halfway mark. So let's get down to the race here at the American 700 LCQ. And the LCQ for the American 700 begins with Chris Dodd and Noah Hart fighting up there. Noah Hart was the pole sitter last season, and now might not even make this season's race. Remember that only the winner will go on. It looks like Dodd got a great start. Problems for Michael Ammermuller. He did not go on the start there, and towards the back, we're already seeing some pretty interesting racing here, as the field is trying to work their way out to try and get themselves up to the grid. No Red Bulls made the race either. As you can see, Vincent Allen's up there, DJ Curtis is in the other one, and Jeff James is in this as well. These drivers are all going to have to try and make this American 700 by winning this race. Only the winner will make it in. Here comes Ivan Brazenkopf with going underneath Alex Allen there. If ride buying, if there are driver exchanges allowed and ride buying, Alex Allen may get in on Zachary Fitzwater's ride. However, Zachary Fitzwater, I'm sure won't like it if he gets knocked out of his safe qualifying time for Alex Allen, who didn't make the race. But right now, Chris Dodd, who probably should have gotten in early on, is now leading this race. And here comes Noah Hart now, looking low, underneath Grayson Ace Vito and Takumi Hirano there. And here we go, down the back straightaway here. Big pack now. Ace Vito's looking to go forward, maybe with Jeff James now on Noah Hart, but it looks like no one's really willing to challenge Dodd or Brazenkopf yet. Remember, only the winner goes on in this race, so to take the 41st spot on the grid, and 42nd goes to the second race, but here we go. Looks like Jeff James is willing to go a bit there, and that's going to be interesting as well, because Red Bull might also try ride buying tactics as well, because both of their full-time drivers aren't in the race either. So this could be a very interesting development as this race goes on, to who makes or who will get what car possibly, as Jeff James takes the lead. William Brock in his first race back after injury now is trying to get up into this race. It's going to be a hard one for him to try and get into. Here comes JT Bryant. JT Bryant started all the way down the order in the 66 car, started way down, I believe, in last for this race, but is up to second position, so it shows how quickly this can go. But it seems like once you get up front, though, the real cars really seem to prove who's the best. A little further back, I'm seeing Jake Baskinger actually getting the high line to work back there. Now he's going to dive into the middle line to the low line and probably block Coy Harley. Maybe a little bit there onto the backstretch now. Looks like Brock now is becoming a factor in this race. But Jeff James is leading it right now, and that's kind of surprising. I thought we'd get a full-time driver to maybe win this race. I really thought a full-timer would, but This is where things are going to start getting really, really interesting. Lots of cars back here not doing well. Cletus Dalehard, Zeke Ferguson, Tim Greenwich, Paige Ace Vito, Nathan Hudson, also not doing well. Nathan Hudson has a cylinder down, we're hearing. Bad attempt there for the Mercedes United Brigade, and now you just got to see a lot of these cars are going to start trying to get up the order as quickly as possible to try and catch Jeff James in the lead. Jeff James in the Red Bull is trying his best to hold everyone behind him. It's going to be a hard race, though. Cletus Dalehard, however, would slow up the pack now, and that's separating the 2 leaders of Jeff James and them are getting away now. Cletus Dalehard having... They are starting to catch lap traffic, though. There's Tim Greenwich. Looks like James is going to go high, so will Dodd. James had to back out of the throttle because he almost lost control there. Hirano now is up the order now, and, well, Dalehard's making this very difficult for a lot of drivers, and that's actually, Zeke Ferguson is also holding up a lot of cars as well. So there's a lot of traffic here that they're going to have to deal with. Onto the back straightaway they go. I think a lot of cars, maybe if there isn't a caution, just lost their chance to win this race. Interesting thing, though, is Dodd and James are separating themselves from the pack back here. So it's proving that drafting works, but driving in a big pack actually slows you down. So a lot of little packs are going to, I think, really help on this race. And like I said, only the winner's going to go on in this race. And right now, Jeff James and Chris Dodd are looking like it's going to be one of those two that are going to get the result right now, unless the caution breaks, which preferably I think we're all thinking will. However, now it's time for that pit stop. Every driver is going to need to make a pit stop unless if somehow they saved enough gas. We're going to start seeing everybody diving for pit road now, I'm thinking. Chris Dodd and Jeff James now are on pit road. That's going to be important for them. Chris Dodd, however, after pit stops would have a big lead over Jeff James, and even though Noah Hart is starting to close in, they're going to have to go quickly if they're going to have any chance at catching Chris Dodd in the lead. Now Chris Dodd's coming to take the white flag. He does have to get by Ferguson and Dalehard one more time, and then Chris Dodd will be able to race for the pinnacle of all motorsports. The American 700, he is getting held up massively, though. This could be big for Alex Allen now in second position. Dodd is massively held up. He can't go anywhere because Dalehard and them are making it incredibly difficult. This is going to be actually thrillingly close. Alex Allen's coming up onto the seat. Alex Allen goes high. Final lap on the outside. Alex Allen looks high. Allen's going to get himself in to the American 700 on the last lap. Chris Dodd's going to be kicking himself for not passing him. Oh, man, Alex Allen did a miracle and got in. Did a miracle. And that's going to be it for Alex Allen getting in. Wow, I didn't expect that to go anywhere near the way it did. Chris Dodd had it locked up. Locked up. And just lost it. Tough break for Dodd, but Alex Allen did a great job getting himself into the American 700. He will start 41st on the grid. Let's go down to Q Race 2. Henry Sanford will lead the field down to the green here in LCQ number 2. This is going to be a big, important race for everybody here as green flag is out. Sorry about the choppy coverage there, but away they go. Henry Sanford was going to make it in on speed if it wasn't for a wreck. He had a time that was going to before Ali Ferguson kind of screwed him over there. Of course, Ali Ferguson is not in the LCQs anymore. You saw Alex Allen in a very thrilling fashion get in. This is for the last spot on the grid, 42nd position. And you've got Henry Sanford and Tuomas Saarinen in this pack, and they look very determined to get in. Marty McGee as well, Tyler Thaber, Nick Pericles. Excuse me about that, Jay Stella. A lot of cars here that could make this race very interesting. This American 700 and this qualifying race very interesting. The only SRD Scandinavia car to not qualify yet, Colanian, is trying to get in as well. That will be a pretty interesting battle if that's the case. Will Lewis got two Kathnex cars trying to get in. Jake Baskinger sadly didn't. If Will Lewis gets in, we're hearing that Jake Baskinger will get that car if Will Lewis makes it. So Will Lewis is pretty much driving for his teammate now, and, well, I'm not sure if Lewis will like that, but I don't know if Lewis knows that because they announced it right after he got into the car. So Will Lewis is fighting for his teammate's car, but now it's a Saarinen v. Sanford battle for the final spot on the grid. Tuomas Saarinen, one of the kings of the American 700, if he ever had a car that would make it the distance. The American 700 has went Saarinen's way a couple of times now. And, well, it'll be interesting to see how things go this time around. Here's another driver that we neglected to mention that almost qualified in on speed. James Shelley nearly made it. His sister is in the race. However, we're hearing that there might be a deal there with Shelley maybe working out a deal, but at least also on the Zachary Fitzwater situation, since Alex Allen got in, obviously Fitzwater is going to race as well. But now we're going to start seeing they're going to have to catch the leading two, or leading three, actually. Now Saarinen's diving for the lead with help from Kolanian, and the 72 car. Saarinen the lead now. Scandinavian Finnish brethren now 1-2. In the back this time we have Nigel Norris and Dale, I forgot his name. It's just Dale. Dale Jr. Are racing pretty hard back there as Trek Taugers lost the pack. Jason Tyson looks like Nakagawa did, as did Polyakov. So all three Benavides doesn't look like they're going to make it. But Nick Pericles, surprisingly slow. I thought was going to make it at one time, but bad pit strategy. You still got to watch out. The pit stop here is going to make things very, very interesting as this race continues on. Pit stop in the first LCQ really made it interesting, and now it's Sanford versus Kolanian for the lead now. Sanford v. Kolanian. It looks like Sanford's going to get the spot away from Kolanian, but now it's up to Tuomas Saarinen to try and get a move going. However, the leaders would get held up by the 71 and the 69 car? Yeah, 69 car, and now it would be Tuomas Saarinen, Henry Sanford, now Will Lewis and Kolanian. Now, Will Lewis, who could end up getting Baskinger in the race, may, and they're specifically not telling Will Lewis that he may not start. Now, that is if ARCSOA allows ride buying, if they do, or if they don't. Because if they don't, then, well, Will Lewis is in the race and Baskinger isn't. However, that could be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Interesting call is Josh Travell's pitted early. Josh Travell came down pit road early to see if he could maybe outsmart the entire field. He knows he probably won't get it on track. However, Travell is going to play this very, very smart now and try and see if an early pit stop will save him. Norris and Jr. now are holding up a good bit of the pack now. This is where things are going to get very interesting now because they can't get held up too much longer. There's DJ Curtis back there being a total non-factor in all this. This rate, there will be no Red Bulls in the race if DJ Curtis doesn't win this race, and there's only a handful of laps to go. However, much to everyone's happiness, Marian Shawrot would blow up, bringing out a yellow flag. The yellow flag would fly for Marian Shawrot, and that would be good for everybody in the field. No green flag pit stops this time around. Now this yellow isn't good for these leading four because now they're going to have other competition up there. And it looks like Kolanian and Sanford are going to stay out. So now we're going to have a battle between who's going to stay out and who's going to pit. I think pitting's the right way to go, but it's track position versus fuel mileage now. Some of these cars will make it, some won't on fuel. So get ready for fun, because this race is just getting a whole lot more interesting. Who are some of the guys that are going to play it risky and stay out? Colanian, Sanford, McPherson, Shelley, Thaber, Voiles, Peterson, Marty McGee, Whiter, Curtis, Johnson, Williams, Jr., Norris, Polyakov, Lamas, Petrov, Thanos, Nakagawa, Tauger, Tyson, and Travell. And the only reason why I think Norris and them didn't was because, well, they're a lap down, and they would pit next time around. All right, late top off on fuel for Travell and McGee now. Travell did go a lap down, however, but it's going to be a very close race to the end now. Some cars with fuel, some won't. They're all going to be in the same pack, so if somebody runs out of gas with 2 to go, the race could end actually early. And away we go. Kolanian wants to get off into the lead. Not sure if that's what they're going to want to do, but away they go. Tires can also be a factor here as well, but this is going to be important now. You're going to have a lot of cars up here that we didn't think would have a chance early on, getting a chance here. McPherson is up there. James Shelley is going to be a threat, but they're all coming in. They're all coming in. It looks like it's going to be Cernan. They all had to come in. None of them were going to make it on gas, and I think everybody realized that. And now it's Cernan, Sam Curtis, Will Lewis, and Lance Noonan. None of them were going to make it on fuel, so all of these guys are going to go out of the race, it looks like. Every one of them are going to go out, and now it's Sam Curtis now trying to chase down Tuomas Cernan, who has been one of the more dominant cars of the weekend. It's a shock that he's in the LCQ, but... Oh, we're seeing Pericles and Noonan are making a run. Not long left in this race now. Not long at all in this race. Here comes Sam Curtis to the inside now. Sam Curtis is diving. He's going to take the lead now. Pericles needs to get up and get some draft from McGee there. And get some draft off of Sam Curtis. Pericles is actually, I think, sitting in the bird seat now, in the catbird seat. Pericles is looking to the inside, although I think he made his move a little early there. Curtis led the lap, but here comes McGee on the inside. Marty McGee. Behind him, you've got the 123 car of Jetson Moore on the inside. And away, here we go. This is going to be thrilling. A Minervini could possibly win the LCQ now of Jason Tyson. A Minervini could make it. Sam Curtis now is fighting back. Will Lewis now is. Jetson Moore is in the hot seat now. Here comes Tyson to the inside with help from Sam Curtis. Tyson now goes to the lead. This is thrilling racing. Here comes Sam Curtis now way low on the inside. Desperate racing calls for, desperate times call for desperate action. Lance Noonan now further back. Noonan's losing ground though. We're coming to the white flag this time. Pericles is back there as well. We don't need Nakagawa right now. Looks like Noonan's breaking down. McGee is going to lead with 1 to go. But Pericles is diving. Nick Pericles going for the lead now. In the LCQ. With Jetson Moore behind him. Jetson Moore is going for the lead now. This is what Pericles needs to do. He needs to get a lead now. And then cut off Jetson Moore. And I think he's going to do that. Nick Pericles. I don't know yet. Jetson Moore's fighting back. But Nick Pericles is going to come across to win LCQ number 2 and bring her home for the American car into the American 700 in a thrilling showdown there at the end of the race. Nick Pericles, they made the right call to get him in. And Tuomas Cernan won't make this race either, so Nick Pericles in the final spot will get in to the American 700. Good for Nick Pericles there. The Field of 42 set. We'll see you tomorrow for the greatest race in this country. The Crucible of Motorsports, the 9th running of the American 700.